Hey, welcome back to Raymond's Shamanic Life. Back to the Yin Yang theory. Today we'll be going over the theory I've been using for energy work for a little bit now. So, let's get started. Aho. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Raymond Shamanic Life. We are here to get started on the Yin Yang theory. This is involving using two fingers during energy work sessions. This is for you to use to practice with. This is my method of how I work with energy. I know it was asked about on the Evolved Ministry student page on how it works a little bit. He doesn't understand the whole concept behind it. So let's start with the meaning of the yin yang. The yin yang is the light and the darkness, the sun and the moon, harmony, balance, order. So that's what the yin yang is what it represents. So it's not anything complex, it's not anything difficult. There's just no life without death, no peace without chaos, no harmony without nature. Nature has to suffer through it. So it creates a yin yang. And just imagine starting out here, our throat, when we start talking, and it's wet, per se. Okay? But as you continue talking non-stop, the more dry it's going to become until you swallow again. And that's why we have that throat and saliva that goes down it. Yes, it can get annoying sometimes, but that's the yin yang. The method I use is a little bit complex. We'll split it off to two parts. One on the energy aspect, which would be right about here, and then one will be on the hands. So how do we direct this energy? Well, how would you direct energy in general? I got a little bit of something to show. I always like to show an example of how the yin yang theory works. It starts with harmony. So we're going to go to the heart chakra for this. This is nature. This is harmony. It's peace. It's love. It's plants. The heart is the seed. That's what starts to form when our mothers first start to get pregnant. And the heart. And then goes to the bones. And then goes to the body. It takes time. So our strongest part of the body is really the heart because it's constantly beating. And if we're talking about inwards, not outwards, it's so hot. It's so gentle at the same time. It's hard but gentle. So with harmony, let's see if I can get that itch gun. You want good, bad. Now that object's not very flimsy. I'm going to use one of these dry napkins. It's just, well, not napkins, but wipes. This is just the method that I use. It's not anyone else's method. And, but that's kind of a little of an example for you of how it works. It's like flicking a piece of paper off with your fist or something. So what comes out of our hands is energy, right? so we can let it flow through us. We'll cover the fingers in just a moment in the next video, which will be released next Saturday. And this part of the yin yang theory, the energy aspect, we want to start to harmonize with it. That means going up and down through the center. Because we gotta be centered, we gotta be focused. That's the type of grounding we are. And we gotta make sure that line, the center, is there. So, if we do a broad visual, you're meditating outside, you're trying to focus, but then you get the image of the yin yang aspect of wind. Wind, it's gray. It doesn't have a color. So it's positive and negative at the same time. So if you imagine that circling around you, I'm seeing that light. If you imagine just that color, the yin yang, that wind, it's circling around you. It's circling, it's circling, it's circling. And it's to the point of where you're able to move it. So then you push on it. Actually, we can use this sometimes naturally without even realizing it. Is that when we push, we're pushing the wind. Well, what's the wind using? Yin yang. So we're directing it just with our hands. The entire hand will go into that a little bit more next video. And really, it's one of those powerful moments where you come and realize what harmony means to you. Some of us may not use the yin-yang theory. We might use some other theory. But if you don't know the yin-yang theory for this method, you will not be able to direct energy like I can with 2 fingers. So another thought occurs. If you can only move the wind with 2 fingers, what about no fingers or 1 finger? Yes, it is possible. That's a part of the awakened state. We're open to these questions. And it is possible because our minds create a positive and negative effect naturally. So what happened as good today? And what was the one thing that happened bad today? Those one good thing, one bad thing, that creates a yin-yang. It's how it is. So some of you might say, hey, the black is on top, the white is on bottom. So the darkness, let's go over the moon. The moon is clarity and full. That's what we're getting shown as the yin-yang image. And we're being shown a full sun and a full moon. And this moon, it's clarity. It's clarity. It's clear. So when we're using the moon side, we want to make sure it's clear. We want to make sure it's broad. And I practice outside at night for a good reason, because the wind is subtle at night. The wind is good. The ocean moves smooth, gently. And this theory just gets even more and more deeper. The moon goes with the rocks, the earth. It cleanses it. The moon goes with the ocean. It turns into moon water for the month. And it goes into the earth. It lets the earth, the trees, rest naturally. Just like as humans, we sleep at night. Unless if you're just one of those night owls and you are more tired during the day. So I get it. Some of you are night shifters. So, let's go into the sun real quick. It means joy, happiness. And it's not always so clear. It can also represent chaos. So what do we need to do in a day? We're joyous, we're full of energy, but we're not clear. Why are we not clear? Well, that's a good question. We'll answer that. It's because we got so much energy that we can direct. It's that we're directing it to work. We're directing it to physical labor, per se. We hardly take time to rest. So we take that joy out of us. We take happiness out of us. And you might be like, oh, you're not happy. No, I'm not searching for happiness. I'm searching for inner stillness, inner peace. And sometimes taking happiness out of the question is good. Like when I accomplish something energy work, I feel satisfied. I feel proud. That doesn't mean I end there. No. I keep going. Some of you stubborn people may know what I'm talking about. You don't want to stop there. You want more. You want more. And that's kind of what we want to be like. We got a nice good punch. And we are satisfied with it. So, what do we need to do? Calm ourselves, because we can use that energy as long as we gather it. So let's gather that energy. This goes into the heart chakra. So for the first week or two, I want you just to work on your heart chakra. If you are interested in this method, create harmony with it. This chakra will allow you to connect to nature. You might say, oh, your chakras are amplifiers. Yes, they are. But if you already awakened your chakras, you will not need to worry about amplifying your environment. You are not to amplify your environment. And while practicing, just focus on this. And then, okay, this goes into what Michael Grubb says. There's two different kinds of grounding. One is allowing us to stay to the earth. Two allows us to amplify. That's the second method of grounding. Amplifying, right? So we're not super deep in. We are at the core. We're staying in the core. So we're pretty much centered at this point. That's all you need. Any other time it will amplify it. So ground to center. Into focus. So Vipassana. Yourself. If you're thinking of connecting to the core of the earth, do so carefully. Okay, so how can I use these two separate? Well, we don't really want to with this theory. We don't want to separate them. I got a hood, a gray cloak. And that gray cloak is what creates the Yin Yang theory for me. It's what represents me. It represents my practices. It represents my knowledge. It represents all parts of me. So the inner wisdom of it all. Would I be able to make it without the Yin Yang theory? Yeah, I could. I could practice. I could practice Michael Grubb's methods. I could practice Joel's methods. I could even practice as the kinesis guru, is he called? I'm not completely sure on that. I'll go and search him later. And Their methods may or may not work better for me. Because it's not my method. It's their method. So, what about grabbing and letting go? So we got to click, drag, release. That's a little bit. Let's go back to here real quick. Or here. I'm going to draw energy around. Just going to draw from there so you can see the visuals. Drag, release. That's the natural part of it. You can see I don't need it. What if I dragged and released at the same time? I'm using the same concept. I'm using that beginner's concept, the beginner's idea. But I'm amplifying my own energy. I'm using it. I'm redirecting it. You saw the Yin Yang theory just there. That was my theory I was using with that. So, if you don't understand how it fully works, look into martial arts. Look into Kung Fu. Kung Fu particularly, because that's the martial art I practice. You're not punching with these two lower fingers. I would say three, but we are using this one. We're not using these two fingers. We're not, well, yeah, three. Three fingers. Thumb, pinky, and third finger. We're not using any of these. But what we are using is the first two to punch. This will help you get the first blow into the person. That's part of it. So what happens if I did that? With the Yin Yang theory, and it was just my fist. Let's see. Same thing. Same thing would happen. I didn't even need to touch it. I didn't need to do that. So it's the same thing. It's the same concept. I did it with my right, might not. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I'll have to straighten that one, but it works best usually with my left hand anyways. So, these are the methods that I use. It's different. It's basic. When I first started aerokinesis, I started with the click-drag theory, so I learned from that. I also would surge the energy through my body naturally because I knew that's what worked for me. So I kept on going. I kept directing the energy. I had Darion Swinton during this time, and he helped me learn quite a bit. I don't know where he's at anymore, but since he left Facebook, that's kind of the only platform I saw him on. But outside of that, he was my beginner's teacher. He was the one to show me the concept and introduced me to it, of aerokinesis. If you ever seen his pinwheel videos, he would always take his hand, entire hand, and direct energy flow. And it will flow naturally at the pinwheel. You would see it spinning in circles. It was neat. It's and he had I forget what it's called with cloud manipulation. It's technical term. He did that once on video. I do practice that from time to time. As of right now, I'm just waiting for the cold season to pass for long distance work like that. We are in Niflheim season. Actually, I can practice with clouds tonight. We'll see. I won't record anything, but I will definitely wait till it's nicer outside to record. And these theories have been proven right, not wrong. It's just how you see it. I show you the example of the theory, but it's all within the heart it starts with. If it doesn't start with the heart, there will be no flow. You will be working your stomach, keep in mind, over the next week as you direct energy. Yeah. Once we get into the energy directing, we will go into the void. Actually, let's talk about the void real quick. So, the void is part of the yin yang concept. It's Ganun Gadap, as we call it in the Norse. The Ganun Gadap means primeval void, nothing. That means what's in the void stays in the void. Doesn't come out. It's between Niflheim and Muspelheim. And that's what created a life. Life from the start, before the tree of life. So, if we can draw from trees, plants, animals, we can draw from anything. That's what it means. And we forget where it all comes from. The void. That's where it started. Where it finishes, it's up to us. Now, I'm not saying one method's right. I'm not saying one method's wrong. I'm just saying this is my method. Let's clear that up. I mentioned it through this entire video, but it's true. So, why will it work so well with me? Why does my own method work with me? Well, it's just the same as your method works. It's your method. Like, I can borrow your method. It's just difficult for me to use it. Part of the method is making sure your body's clear and calm. If you're not calm, you can't correctly direct energy. So, you practice and practice and practice. A lot of you who are already into energy work, you will know this feeling of happiness. And you'll be like, man, I wish I was there in a moment with you. Just go into practice. That's all it feels. So that's going to end it off for today. And make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm going to create the second video after this clip, so if you hear the music in the background, it's how I have playing. And just so, it's all fine, it's okay. And I'll see you next time. Oh.